we don't get our apparition. Prince Charming can gain us a bunch of life. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today we are playing Bant Yorion. Bant refers to the color combination of blue, white, and green if you're a beginner. And Yorion means that we need 80 cards within the deck. So this is a fatty. And, you know, it revolves around a couple things. You know, we're prolonging the length of the matches. We are using bounce effects from Yorion to re-trigger enter the battlefield effects that we have within all of our permanents. And then we also have a little bit of food sprinkled in here through Trail of Crumbs for a nice draw engine and Wicked Wolf for a recurring removal engine due to all of our bounce effects. We'll break down the list in its entirety, don't worry, not just those cards, talking about the strategies, the synergy, showing you guys the gameplay footage, breaking down all of the play lines and interactions, and doing our best to entertain you along the way. So if you find any value within this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, and of course, hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads, and then you can hear me try to speak as fast as I can every single day. I should be an auctioneer, right? So let's get right into it. Bant Yorion, you know, we do have Yorion as a companion. When you have a creature as a companion, means you need to follow a set of deck building rules. In Yorion's case, it will require us to use an additional 20 cards on top of our minimum pool. And then when it enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step. I say your next end step, but it's actually the next end step. So it could potentially be your opponent's next end step as well. But we'll get into that a little bit later. 4 copies of Gilded Goose, a 0/2 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. We can pay 2 plus tap it to create a food token anytime we want. Of course, we do have to have the summoning sickness off that before we can go ahead and proceed there. We can also sacrifice a food, adding 1 mana of any color while tapping our goose. Again, we need the summoning sickness gone before we can do so. Into our 2 drops, 4 copies of Trail of Crumbs. Now, I mentioned this was our draw engine. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. And whenever you sacrifice a food, you may pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them, put it into your hand, and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. 4 copies of Omen of the Sea and Enchantment of Flash, and when it enters the battlefield, scry 2 and draw a card. We can pay 3 to sack it to scry an additional 2. 2 copies of Birth of Maltese and Enchantment Saga, which is really nice. It triggers when it enters the battlefield, and we will search our library for a basic Plains card, putting it into the hand, and then shuffling our library. And then on the following upkeep, 0/4 Defender, which is really nice for us, and then finally gaining 2 life and sacrificing Maltese. 4 copies of Glass Casket, an artifact, and when it enters the battlefield, we will exile a creature an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or less until the casket leaves the battlefield, at which point they'll get that creature back. 4 copies of Charming Prince, a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, choose 1, either scry 2, gain 3 life, or exile another creature you own, return to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. This is great. This is a very cool way to bounce our Yorion, right? I mentioned that we'd get into that in a second because it says the next end step, both of these. So we can bounce them with each other. And because when the bounce comes in, it's already your end step. That means when it enters from a bounce and you rebounce one of the things, that thing leaves the battlefield into exile until your opponent's end phase, right? And that's the next end step, and it'll come back before your draw phase again, right? So that's really cool there. Anywho, into our 3 drops, we have 3 copies of Skyclave Apparition, a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with converted mana cost 4 or less, and when it leaves the battlefield, exile the card's owner, creates an XX blue elemental, or sorry, illusion, not an elemental, where X is that card's converted mana cost that was exiled. A single copy of Glasspool Mimic, a 0/0, entering the battlefield as a copy of a creature that we control. You know, basically just copying our apparition. We might copy a wolf, and there is the rare case where we don't pull any islands within our opening hand, and you know, we do have the shore that we can play in tapped as the MDFC to add a blue to our pool. Speaking of MDFCs that come in tapped, we have Bala Ged Sanctuary coming in tapped, adding a green to our pool, and then a sorcery speed for 3, returning a card from a graveyard to our hand. You know, it's nice to pick up a Yorion or something important that we need. And again, if we don't have the land early on, we can play that from our opening hand. 4 copies of Llanowar Visionary, 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card. We can also tap it to add a green to our pool. 2 copies of Solemn Simulacrum, our first 4-drop, a 2/2, when it enters the battlefield, search our library for a basic land card, putting it into the battlefield, then shuffling our library, and when it dies, we get to draw a card. 4 copies of Wicked Wolf. I mentioned this is our main removal engine here. 3/3 when it enters the battlefield. It fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Sacrifice food, put a +1/+1 counter on Wicked Wolf. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Once blockers have been declared, you can tap it to give it indestructible and a +1/+1. That's really nice. And then when it enters the battlefield, you can actually, while it's fighting, tap it to give it indestructible as well. A single copy of Thassa Deep Dwelling, a 6/5 with indestructible, and as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, it's not a creature. It is possible to get your devotion to 5 here thanks to Omen of the Sea, and at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you don't control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. We can pay 4 to tap another target creature as well. So you know, the bounce here is really nice, and that's a reoccurring bounce that happens on every one of our turns. Moving into our 5 drops, we have 4 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death, another enchantment saga. So when it enters the battlefield, it triggers, exiling target permanent and opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. So that's quite nice. It's like the opposite of Skyclave Apparition. Apparition is 4 and under. Conquers Death is 3 and greater. On our following upkeep, non-creature spells your opponent casts cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And finally, return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on it or a loyalty counter on it, depending. 3 additional copies of Yorion Sky Nomad. This is main deck. We do have it as a companion, but you know, let's flood the library with him as well because it's so powerful. A 4/5, and then of course when it enters the battlefield, exiling any other number of non-land permanents you own and control, returning those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. We have a single copy of the Great Henge for 9, costing 1 less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We can tap it to add 2 green to our pool, gaining 2 life, and whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. A single copy of Seagate Restoration. This is the Mythic MDFC or Bolt land, coming in tapped unless we pay 3 life, adding a blue to our pool, and sorcery speed for 7, drawing cards equal to the number of cards in our hand +1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. We have, 2 copies of Emeria's Call for 7 as well. Sorcery speed, creating 2 4/4 White Angel Warrior creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures you control gain indestructible until your next turn. You can defend with indestructible and then attack with indestructible. We also have the land coming in tapped unless we pay 3 life, adding a white to our pool. Speaking of land, we've got quite a list here for you guys. 4 Fabled Passages, 2 Zagoth Triomes, 2 Indatha Triomes, 2 Temple of Mysteries, a single Temple of Plenty, 4 Branchloft/Boulderloft Pathways, a single Temple of Enlightenment, 4 forests, 4 islands, and 4 plains. We're playing traditional standard today, so we have a sideboard incorporated for 6 Kolga the Titan Ape, a 7/6, and when it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Whenever Kolga attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. We can also pay 2 to return target human you control to its owner's hand, gaining indestructible for Kolga when we do so for the end of the turn. That's quite nice. A single copy of Sublime Epiphany for 6. Instant speed, choose 1 or more, similar to Casualties of War if you remember that spell. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of a creature you control, target player draws a card. 4 copies of Shark Typhoon enchantment for 6. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost, cycling for 2+X, and whenever you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. 3 copies of Mystical Dispute for 3. Instant speed, costs 2 less to cast if it targets a blue spell, counter target spell unless the controller pays 3. 2 copies of Mazemind Tome for 2. Artifact, tap it to scry 1, putting a counter on it. Pay 2, tap it to draw a card, also putting a counter on it. And then when we have 4 counters on it, sacrifice it, gain 4 life. 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze for 2. This is a 2/2 in which we can pay 1 green from our pool to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze and gain 1 life. And a single copy of Negate to finish off this pile. Instant speed for 2, counter target non-creature spell. Sorry, Genesis Ultimatum. Sorry, Ugin, right? So as far as the sideboard goes, take in what had no positive interaction for you. Specifically Glass Casket if there was no creatures to get rid of. These are 4 cards you can pop out because they hold no value within your deck against a creatureless opponent, and you can maybe sub in something else like a Negate, like the Tomes, the Disputes, right? So this goes with all cards. Just kind of do that run in your head. Which card worked within this match and which one of my cards did not, and then single out the cards that did not. See if you can find cards that will work better than those cards within your sideboard. Make the switcheroonies. There you go, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that's that, you guys. The general strategy is to prolong the match as long as you can. Get all your pieces in play. Stack your permanents with enter the battlefield effects, and then just start bouncing them. And you're going to get so much value, your opponent won't be able to keep up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Use Trail of Crumbs as a draw engine. Focus your goose on the field so your Wicked Wolf has plenty of food, and then just start bouncing it. Bouncing, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Big wolves for you guys. You guys are going to have an amazing time playing this deck. I know I had a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend. Hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. We're live on YouTube every single day. We go on Twitch almost every single day as well. Check us out. Hit the notifications. Everything's in the Linktree link in the description below. And then, of course, we're using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant today, the best metagame tracker for the game that will help you improve your win rate and just general knowledge within the game. So it's got the metagame overview, deck videos, deck write-ups, and so much more. Everything you could possibly want. And that's going to be available for free within the Overwolf link in the description below. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to watch to the end because we have some once in a lifetime news that you don't want to miss out on. Take care, and we'll see you in a few minutes. All right. Yeah, I don't expect to ever lose a match like that, right? With Triome in play, it's always a good start, smoothing out our mana very, very nicely. So we have our white source here. We will need a second white for our apparition. And I think we just take the scry, right? Set up our following turns. The Visionary's good, the land's good. The Skyclave onto the Hallowblade's real good. It's gonna be satisfying when I take that. Apparition to the rescue! Maybe we take the Skyclave there, but I think we just kind of leave that and try to pick it up with our Elspeth Conquers Death a little later on. Sun's Nemesis can make 2 tokens. Decent. I think we just ramp, right? Pull the double block, hopefully. I'll be bouncing the apparition anyways, so that's fine.
If you are going to fight, fight beside me.
See. We take the Skyclave. Blue. I'll throw the Simulacrum to the grave if we can. You know, Elspeth Conquers Death brings back our goodies. And we're just kind of proactively dealing with our field state so it doesn't get too big on us. All right.
Find your valor and fight.
Getting hit for 6. It's just till end of turn. They can replay it for 6. This comes back as a 2/2. Let's leave it. They're gonna be able to... Oh no, they don't have enough cards in their graveyard. That's actually good for us. Let's just find some goodies while getting those chump blockers out. That's what's nice about the Visionary, is at the very least it replaces itself. Pulling back our Simulacrum. Oh. This is a good card. Little late though, because there's no land to play on top of it, but that fledgling I have a crush on. There's no other knights. There's soldiers. Land, lame. Get the card now, get the card later. Let's grab the card now. Okay, the goose is nice here. I like this. We should be able to lock it up with the goose and our trail of crumbs. Just kind of go on a little bit of a value spree. They must have some sort of interaction, right? Why is it being held up? That takes us down to 1, 2, 3, 4 land potentially. Let's take the scry, get that out of the way. Land can go. Yorion in hand. Again, I'm happy to take a trade, a 2-for-1 here. That pleases me. They really don't want to lose any life, right? Oh, maybe there's some interaction in their hand. Okay. Just until end of turn. But sure, yeah. That's a thing you could have done. I'm worried about this Elspeth when they get enough cards in the grave, right? They're at 4. I think they need 5. No, just 4. But Elspeth counts as one of those 4, so it would be 5 total. Land in play, fledgling in the air. No blocks. Let's take it. It's only gonna get bigger and badder is the thing. We just Yorion. I like the Mimic quite a bit. We can bounce the Mimic later. So let's take the fledgling. Alright. Just trying to get as many permanents in play that we can bounce with Yorion, right? Just kind of shutting down the game. Decklist still in play for some reason. Let's try to get rid of that. There we go. And more mono white. A lot of mono white today, it seems. I like Kogla, but also it's like, how valuable was this Elspeth again? Maybe not. The negate could be pretty cool off the start. You know what I mean? Just shut down that Skyclave right before it even touches the field. It's better to deal with it on turn 2 or 3 when it touches than on turn 5 when you get access to get rid of it. The land's not there. This looks really nice for us. I need to use both of these as forests, and this is our plains. So we can hit our wolf on turn 4 after these 2 caskets. Admittedly, the Garrison Cat's not a great card to remove, but that Hallowblade is. Alright, we need a 3rd land. There's that island that we tossed. Good for us. Let's take the Hollow Blade. Whew. One damage turn's not that bad. We could bounce it if there's something else that's important comes up later. Take the cat because it creates a soldier after. They're piling on. We should have scryed. That was kind of a misplay on the land. I was just thinking about it. Oh well. Alright, that Archon's gonna be nice to fight here. Nice, we can bounce our wolf with the prince. There's the Skyclave on the cat. Okay. Now we're talking. We can basically race damage-wise. We're doing 6, they're doing 3. We can gain 3 life to offset one of their hits. Oh, that is a good drop, though.
I am proud of my comrades.
How do we get around this? Let's make them repay for the mall, right? They went to repay 4, we would have just switched cats on them. Okie dokie, playing first here. So this is the new hot deck on the block. All the kids are saying. 2 land, we go first. We do have Apparition coming into play with a little bit of disruption before that within our Glass Casket. So thou shalt pray for the land pickups off the top, right? Yorion can go. Again, we just are kind of digging for land at this point. This is the deck that kind of functions well off of about 10 land. The Shambler's a little annoying. A spell, so we're gonna actually not spell it. We're gonna equipment it or artifact it. It's not quite the same. It's a little different. Let's just snag that right away. We pulled our land. It's a slow land. You know, we're not playing anything if we don't draw something else. A second Shambler. Ooh, ooh, ah. Ooh. At least we can play Omen with our land. The forest can say that's really good for us. So our main objective here is just to try to slow things down a bit, right? Oh, that's the opposite of slowing things down. They have another 1-drop? Okay, just on the Shambler. Alright, that's their whole turn. Let's take our scry. This would be our 4th land. I think the simulacrums will draw some land for us, which is nice. And now we get a fresh draw, Visionary, which I don't mind. We may as well just keep ramping though. Taking action. We have 2 green sources already for our Great Henge. We have 2 white sources for Elspeth Conquers Death and Apparition and Yorion. What we really could go for is a Seagate Restoration with 3 islands, or the call for 3 planes. Neither are in hand right now, so let's just spread it out. Now we have a basic forest, a basic island, and a basic plains. With these decks, sometimes it is that land pick that can be the cause of your downfall. Oh, now this is gross. They killed the casket. We can apparate it at least, right? It's a 4-drop. You know, it kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, now it's dealt with. 2-for-1 special. We will take the draw, right? Simulacrums are made for dying. This also isn't a spell, so there's no trigger from the Swarm Shambler, which is quite nice, I think. Let's take a draw here. Looking for a wolf for removal, that would be quite nice. And then Thassa, of course, for the bounces. So, you know, even if they deal with the Apparition, the 6/6 Gem Raiser will only be a 4/4, right? With no ability, so, you know. And it had to mutate, there's a creature underneath of it, so I still think we see some relative value there. Alright, let's take our draw. It doesn't matter at this point. Trail of Crumbs doesn't really do anything for us right now. We'll leave the shuffle for later. That's a hard decision. Yeah, let's get Yorion in hand. No attacks. That way next turn we can Omen if we want main phase and Yorion, and then bounce everything to reset up some value for the mid to late game. As long as we can keep them down a bit. A Gem Raiser will kill our Simulacrum, I believe, because it's an artifact. Yeah, why do we speak such things? They could kill Omen, but I'm pretty sure they should kill the Simulacrum. Or they're just going to attack through, is the thing. Hit for 10. Wow, that's too much for us. This Gem Raiser is doing work. This leaves us with 4 leftover mana. We're submitting 0 here with Thassa. I need this on the field as a blocker. We have everything we need. Doesn't matter. There's the Seagate. I mean, I don't think we're surviving is the thing. Their 3rd Gem Raiser of the game. Wow. They have more gem razors than they do land. Right? They can't kill Thassa though, it's got indestructible. So that's at least a good play for us. We're still backed into a corner we don't want to be in. So good luck on that, right? Oh, man, I hate this. They can only kill one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Yorion. Right, and then we'll get the draw from the Simulacrum. And Elspeth Conquers Death would be great. I wish it's at 4. I wish, mateys. We could double block it. This costs 7, we have 10, we have 3 left over. But we die. What could we pull for 3 that deals with that 4/4? The Apparition. Let's leave 2 planes untapped. We don't get our Apparition. Prince Charming can gain us a bunch of life. Let's grab a forest here. Actually, it doesn't matter because this can tap for it. So we could... I'll take the chump blocker with the goose though. We could use the mana here and then bounce it, and I want to bounce the prince instead. Just grab some life. Let's escape whatever's going on here. Right? We have our ECD. We have our wolf now. There's the ram through. Oh, disgusting. I'll double block. Yep. That's a good trade for us, as far as I'm concerned. We get the draw, no damage, and we take their creature out of play, which was a Gem Razor, which is very good. This is a human that can't mutate onto that. Another goose, that's fine. That's food generation for our wicked wolf, baby. And now we shift from control into a food deck, basically. Let's just nip this 1/1 in the butt. Let's trail out. Oh, shoot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 land available. Let's double Omen. Alright, that's game. We pull through. That's a little bit risky biscuits in that early game though, right? You can kind of get bashed. And this Gem Razor definitely did the bashing. You know what I mean? So I'm going to lose the casket because we don't want it to get raised. Kolga's nice. I think we just take some additional oozes for bodies. What's going on here? We have to take 2 more cards. Yeah. Having that Gem Razor destroy our Glass Casket is too much. That's very, very good value for them. And we need to mitigate that as much as we can. Not enough land here. This looks a little bit better. It's awkward, but it's there. There. Keeping 6 here, and let's toss our trail for now. Wicked Wolf is cool. We have the land to play it. Apparition, we do not have any land, so let's toss that. That would be a good drop in this match. A 3rd Yorion, weird. We just need land. This isn't bad. We could Yorion next turn just for the body, maybe. Right? Bounce the Visionary for the draw. Just keep it in play. And then we can deal with that. Taking our draw. Hopefully there's not removal on their end, right? They could have ramp through. That would be bad. The Erekner deals 1 damage, that's fine. And they do have ramp through. Damn it! Let's make the food ×2. Plus we get another draw. Not bad. I mean, we're playing the line correctly, I'm pretty sure. They have more removal on this Yorion. I'm gonna die. Okay, they just kill a food. That's not the worst. We'll kill the Gem Razor, let the beast hit us. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, we still trade. Death Touch takes us. Oh my gosh. We get lucky with these Yorions. Yeah. This is too much value. This is so good. They're down to 1 card in hand. Yeah, they're calling it. Good game. Our Mira's Call. That's really nice. Did they draw a henge? The henge can carry them through. The beast, that's fine. Alright, just to kill a food, I guess. They kill both of them. That's their 2nd Gem Razor. A little bit of value. That's their whole hand, though, so looking good. Let's get this in play. Let's wolf out on that 1/1 so it can't attack. Or the 5/5 can't attack, I should say. Woo! Nice. 2 in a row. I like this just because we have the Apparition. You know, Prince turn 2 as well. Opponent goes first. If we don't pull up planes, we're gonna passage for 1. Gilded Goose. That's never good. We get Casket the Goose. Trail of Crumbs. Interesting. We definitely need to casket the goose. Only a second planes to unlock our apparition. Also our Yorion. I think they bricked on mana and we're relying on the goose for said land drop or mana. Yeah, nice baby, nice. Let's take that draw engine as well. Right, we should have enough of a head start here to win a game. Yeah, cool. I mean, they didn't get their land drop. I don't know who would keep a hand with one land. That's so greedy, especially when you're on the play. We know they're playing a food deck just like we are. It could go a ways, so let's take the tome. It's a hard play. I would rather trail than tome when I think about it though, right? The apparition's really nice. Everything fits quite well here. The birth could go for the tome, but then we're sacrificing lands and a blocker, which I think is actually respectable because it's not too much of an aggro deck, right? It's more of that mid-range shenaniganzos. We have Thassa opening hand. That's nice. We're gonna scry. We can get something for Thassa to utilize. 2 games in a row with turn 1 goose. That's actually just like generally upsetting to me. I want removal. Alright, this is already going much better for them. Let me take the scry here. Hopefully there's no wolf on the back end. Trail can go, tome can stay. They're sacking both foods to draw a card. Oh, they pay 1 and then sack it. But I thought you had to... Did they have open mana for that? I didn't think they did. I'm going crazy. Kogla in hand. That's a thing. Just take our scry ahead of time. That Kogla hit though is gross. They get their wolf. They've got the land. Not good. They go Visionary instead. We need a blue source off the top. And we left the goose there for some strange reason. They want to just drop Kogla. Right? We need an ECD. Oh! Ew, River! No attacks. 4, 5, 6, so we could get hit with it. I don't doubt it. Seven mana available. I hope it's the Kogla and then we can just eat it. Oh, they sell Monkey here, D. They're playing around it. They're going for a draw engine. It might be their downfall. 3 Trail of Crumbs. Is that really necessary? That's kind of like wiling out a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Let's take our scry. Wolf can stay. Let's get Thassa in play. We have no trail for the draw, sadly, but they're there. This literally doesn't matter. I don't know where our blue sources of land are, but whatever. No attacks. End turn. We bounce the goose for another food, or we bounce the prince. We already know the wolf's there. We have 20 life. Let's make another food for the wolf later. Could be the food wars of 2020 that were coming down. These draws are gross, though. You only get to pay for 1. Oh, 2 actually, because of Visionary. Nice. This is not shaping up well for us. Skyclave can take Thassa. It's an exile effect. Good game. We're finding ourselves down a rabbit hole that's not gonna work out. We need our removal. Maybe the hand just like a key to our victory. Drop 1 tome. Playing first should help. Are you serious? 3 games in a row. Turn 1 goose. Play turn 2 Trail Crumbs, I dare you. Alrighty. There it is. I knew you'd have it out. Ridiculous. Another goose. Wow. That's so silly. Alrighty. We can hit for 2. Look at us go. Wow. That's so silly. Like, is this person only playing with 8 cards in their deck? They've got 8 copies of each? Can I get judge? We got a deck check over here. I think my opponent's using an illegal deck. Woof. I got my first complaint about saying woof the other day. Wicked wolf. Oh gosh, they should kill Prince Charming. We get a draw here. The apparition's really nice to take out the wolf. Come on home, pop skis. I think we take the Visionary. Take our Scry as well. Land can go. We can attack for 2 again. Trail of Crumbs for a draw. So silly. I would take the Trail of Crumbs with our Apparition, but they have another to drop literally right after, so maybe let's just focus on creatures. Another Visionary. This is what I mean. They've only played 4 cards. Absolutely ridiculous. 5 cards, I guess. They seem to hit them all, always, like multiples. That's what I mean. The 3rd Gilded Goose in the top 15, 2 matches in a row. What luck! That's ridiculous. This kid should be at the casino, not playing Magic. Every game's 4 aces, baby. What's up? I understand there's 60 cards in the deck, but I only need 4 of them. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm having a hard time computing this. We want to hit our Seagate again, is the thing. Let's give them the token. Let's take that dang trail. It's annoying and I hate it. We have 20 life. We can take a bit of damage. There's their apparition on our apparition. On our casket for their visionary back. Okay. Re-enters to get a draw. That's actually good. Third land. They have 4 available through the visionary. No blocks. Prince Charming bounces their own apparition like we did. Copycat. Copycat. Dang it. You dog. We have no apparition to rebounce with the prince, which sucks. Scries can get mishapped by our shuffles, I believe. Oh, this triggers first. That's good. Never mind. Scries are okay. $16 life. Let's see if we can survive a turn or two. Looks bad, right? This does not look so great. There's the food. Probably just going for draws, I guess. I don't know. Ah, the Wicked Wolf to kill Yorion. They have to eat 2 food. It goes to what, 5/5? Without the wolf being bounced, there's not enough removal. Not to mention their extreme luck. You know what I mean? Let's take that draw. Right, now we can apparate and hopefully bounce it with our Yorion again. Taking the wolf. We have 7, so we can actually Omen first. That can stay right there. Alright, the plot thickens. We have 5 available. Can we survive 1 more turn? Let's bounce everything. They get a 4/4. Yorion can block it. Let's bounce our apparition. Gain life. Take out their draw engine. Wicked Wolf on top's really nice. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. We can get for a bunch, but I think we're okay. Oh, stop it. That was our defender on that 4-4. Dang it. Now we're forced to lose our guys, and we draw a trail off the top. Shit. This is so bad. I almost don't want to send an apparition to... Oh my god. That's game. I have no words. We have 10. Yorion comes in here. Rebounces. Elspeth conquers death. We lose our wolf. It's better than the continual loop of Prince Yorion, though, right? Grody. They don't bounce all the geese? Oh, they want the blockers. But they get them back on their end step here, so that doesn't make sense. They would have them as blockers anyways. They want them to utilize this mana right here, maybe? That's something to sneak in there, that's for sure. I wish we had Vigilance. So we could attack, and then defend, and then attack again. Alright, they take our apparition. Great draw. Oh my god, I forgot about all this. There's the board state we've been missing. Is there a card that just flips this whole thing around? Another land, that's great. That's just so good for us. It's not enough. It is not enough. Looking for that card that doesn't exist. Exchange board states with your opponent. It's a good game. I think we each ourselves up though, right? It's become clear enough that that's not going to work out for us. Alrighty then, what do you guys think of the deck? Did you enjoy it? Did I make too many misplays, or was that an acceptable play experience for you guys, seeing that this is the first few times I've played the deck? Some of the control decks for me are a lot harder to lock down and not make a single misplay in the whole match while being relatively new to them. There's just so many interactions when a game goes to 10 turns than when a game only goes to 5. It's like you basically cut half of the interactions out, and then those beginning interactions seem to be more consecutive, more consistent, more repetitive, rather than these weird, like, oh, got you here, got you there type scenarios. Like, we're not just annex cleaving, stuff like this, right? So that was a lot of fun. I know this is one of the best decks right now. Like I said, typically I kind of struggle with this archetype, but there's only one way to get better, right? So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, and of course hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. We have monthly cash prize free entry tournaments for beginners, Brawl, and Artisan. Make sure to join in on those. We have just a general 500,000 gem giveaway that you can't miss out on, so get in on that. Daily content on YouTube. We're on Twitch with the community almost every day as well. More importantly than everything I've said today, thank you for your time and attention. I really appreciate it. Go have yourselves a magical day, and we'll talk to you again soon with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Peace!
Nice.